This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. I'm Connie Chung.
And I'm Dan Rather. The Bible says, to everything there is a season, a time of war and a time of peace. Tonight in the Holy Land, it is a time of peace. Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization, the PLO, agreed today to formally recognize each other and try to live together in the land each calls the Holy One. Bob Simon begins our coverage.
It was the same long green table around which many of these same men had made grim decisions to take Israel into battle. Tonight, you could tell from the smiles, peace was on the table. The Rabin government was recognizing the PLO as the representative of the Palestinian people. Earlier, the PLO recognized Israel's right to exist and renounced the use of terror. It marked the end of 6 months of secret negotiations. Maybe, just maybe, the end of 50 years of war.
Most of my life I fought against the PLO, and to be a member of cabinet, signing a document to lead the way to peace with the PLO, a mutual recognition, well, I think it's something that it's a dream that's come true.
And all of us recognize that there are two people here and we have to build our life together side by side.
The Israeli architect of the agreement, Foreign Minister Shimon Peres, had been up all night negotiating the last stubborn details with Tunis. In fact, at 3:30 in the morning, Peres said he thought the talks had broken down. But both sides made critical last-minute compromises, and this morning, Prime Minister Rabin explained the deal to his supporters in Parliament. He said the PLO was an enemy, still is an enemy, but that's who you make peace with, he said, enemies. Here's what's been agreed. Israeli troops will withdraw from most parts of Gaza and the area around Jericho on the West Bank. As Palestinians assume control, Israel will gradually withdraw from the rest of the West Bank. Arafat will call on Palestinians in the occupied territories to refrain from the violence which has marked the Intifada, the bloody uprising against the Israeli occupation which began in 1987. The agreement was made possible by leaving open several crucial questions which both sides knew they couldn't resolve. Will this Palestinian control ever lead to an independent Palestinian state? Will the 2.5 million Palestinian refugees spread around the world ever be permitted to return? What will happen to the Israeli settlements in the occupied territories where 100,000 Jews live amidst close to 2 million Arabs? And the heart of the matter, what will happen to Jerusalem, the holy city which Israelis and Palestinians both see as their capital? The agreement clears the way for a formal White House ceremony on Monday. That will mark today's formal recognition of the fact that the 50-year-old Israeli dream of peace and the Palestinian dream of a homeland are inextricably linked, that one cannot exist without the other. Connie?
Thank you, Bob Simon. The United States played no part in the secret talks that led to the agreement between Israel and the PLO. Still, both sides will come to the White House next week for a signing ceremony with President Clinton. White House correspondent Rita Braver has that part of the story.
The president returned to the White House late this afternoon, and aides say was set to announce that the U.S. will reestablish contact with the PLO, reopen a diplomatic dialogue that was broken after terrorism against Israel. But suddenly, the Rose Garden statement was postponed till tomorrow because the recognition agreement had not yet arrived in Israel for signing. Earlier, aboard Air Force One, the president spoke by phone with Israeli Prime Minister Rabin. And then, in Cleveland, to sell his new Reinventing Government program, Mr. Clinton stopped to talk to reporters about the Middle East with what might be called cautious euphoria.
They have reached a general agreement, but the process of implementing it will be quite complicated, and we expect to be closely involved in the process.